So it's no secret makeup is getting expensive these days, and not just at high-end retailers like Sephora, but also at the drugstore. There are so many different factors that go into pricing, including ingredient costs and suppliers and shipping and packaging. And I do think overall the quality for drugstore makeup has gone up so much in the last few years. So obviously a price increase is justifiable, it's inevitable, but obviously that doesn't negate the fact that makeup is just getting more expensive overall. We're seeing like $13, $14, $15 priced items at the drugstore, and sometimes they're worth the money, sometimes they aren't. But either way, I wanted to highlight my favorite products for $5 and under and really share the best options that are super affordable. I have 20 products to talk about in today's video, so even if you were to purchase every single product, you'd still be spending under $100 on everything. You probably don't need to purchase every single product, and this video might be a little bit longer, so I'll put some timestamps in the description box in case you want to jump ahead. I'll kind of break it down by category, but these are the most affordable products out there that I think are so good. The quality is definitely there, and like I said, they only cost, under $5. So let's jump into it. Okay, let's start with blush. This is definitely an older favorite. I've had this in my collection for a while, but I still reach for it all the time. This is from Essence, and it's called the Blush. I have two different shades that I'll share with you in today's video. My favorite is the shade Bespoke. I wear it all the time. I'm wearing a little bit of it today on top of another blush, and Essence actually just launched new blushes, which I did pick up. I think they're $6. I am planning on trying them out, but I will say Essence is pretty much like the main brand that sells a ton of products for under that $5 price point. A lot of the other brands in today's video might have a couple of products under $5, but if you're looking for like a truly affordable brand, definitely check out Essence if you haven't already. But these blushes are really nice. They're very smooth. They're a typical powder formula. So if you're not into creams or putty blushes, these are going to be a great option for you. Like I said, I've had these in my collection for a while and I still continue to reach for them. They're very silky. They blend out very easily, and they do have other shades, but I just have these two. Bespoke has a little bit of like a natural luminous glow to it. So it is my favorite for the summertime because it just gives my skin like that beautiful, healthy glow. The next formula I wanted to share with you is this one from J.Cat Beauty. These are the Blush-Mallows. These are so pretty on the skin. These are actually a little bit newer to my collection. I saw Vianney's Strick talking about these. And by the way, I love Vianney's channel. If you're not subscribed to her, I'll link her in the description box below. She films a ton of great drugstore and affordable content, and I love her testing new makeup videos. I just think she is amazing. I've been subscribed for years, but if you're not already subscribed, definitely check her out. Anyway, she's been talking about these on her channel for a while, and I decided to order them because they were on sale. These are so gorgeous. They're kind of like not a creamy powder. They're definitely more of a cream, but they're not as creamy or dewy or luminous as regular cream blushes. So I find that they're a little bit more approachable if you're someone who's kind of intimidated by a super luminous cream blush. They're actually very similar to the Item Beauty blushes if you've tried those, kind of similar to the ColourPop Super Shocks, but they're not quite as soft as those. They're really, really vibrant on the cheeks. You can use a light hand to sheer them out, but they have a ton of gorgeous, vibrant colors. They have some deeper shades. So if you're a fan of really intense blush, I think you'll enjoy these a lot, and they last on the skin so well. They're so pretty. If you're looking for a liquid blush, this is my favorite. It's so gorgeous on the skin. I think it's a really good alternative to the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. They're not quite as intense, but you can build them up to look a little bit more vibrant on the skin. I find them a little bit easier to work with than Rare Beauty because they blend out faster in my opinion, and again, they're not quite as intense, so I feel like they're a little bit more forgiving on the skin. But these are the Profusion Blush Hour Soft Matte Liquid Blushes. So today I'm wearing the shade Bellini, which is like my go-to. These are really nice because you can layer them directly on top of other creams or on top of a little bit of powder. They blend out in seconds, they stay in place well. They're so smooth and pretty on the skin. A lot of liquid blushes are glowy or shimmery or dewy, but these are matte, and they're not like a drying, uncomfortable matte. They're just really soft. They give your skin like a blurred finish, and they're gorgeous. I honestly can't believe they're under $5 because this formula truly does feel like a high-end formula, but it's affordable. It's great. Okay, let's talk about some lip products. So I absolutely love this lip gloss formula from Essence. These are the Juicy Bomb Shiny Lip Glosses. They're $1.99. They're the most affordable lip product in my collection, probably one of the most affordable makeup products in general that I own, and the quality is so nice. These are very lightweight, super shiny, really glossy, not sticky at all. They have a really fun watermelon scent. Well, this one does. I think they're kind of Each scent is like specific to that lip gloss, but they just give your lips a really pretty shiny, juicy finish. I love having these everywhere. Like I have one in my wallet, I have one in the car, I usually throw one in my pocket. They're just nice to have. I feel like the squeezy tube is convenient for on the go. I don't always prefer this type of packaging, but I feel like it works for these. So these are a great option, super affordable and just really nice. There are a ton of lip oils out there, but I think the most affordable one I've tried that I really love is this one from Profusion. These are the Juicy Lip Tint Nourishing Lip Oils. These are very, very lightweight. So they're not necessarily really plush feeling on the lips or thick or luxurious, but they're very glossy, super thin. So sometimes I prefer one formula or the other. And honestly, when I'm on the go and I just want to be able to reapply something quickly, this is my favorite. It has a really large doe foot applicator. These don't have really a ton of color. They're very, very sheer. So I feel like they're perfect for every day. And I've had these for a while and I still reach for them all the time. So these are one of my favorites. I do think that out of the three, because I do have all three, I prefer the berry toned one, just because it gives your lips like a really pretty light flush of color that I think is perfect, especially for the winter. One thing that I refuse to spend a lot of money on is lip liner. There are so many good lip liners at the drugstore, and I do have two under $5 that I wanted to mention. The first one is from LA Girl. These are the Shockwave Nude Lip Liners. I think they also have a line of like bright neon lip liners if you want like pink and red, but I love the nude line because they have all different shades, and these are so perfect. They are super pigmented, very, very creamy. So they glide on really easily. They almost feel like a lipstick. They do dry down, but they don't dry down to like a matte, uncomfortable finish. They do extend the wear of your lipstick, but probably not as well as the next formula I'm going to mention. If you prefer like a creamy, super pigmented formula that you're going to throw like a lip gloss on top of, or one that you like to wear on its own, this is the formula to try. The colors are beautiful. The formula is so easy to work with. But I do have another formula to share. This is going to be more ideal if you wanted to lock your lip product into place. These are from Catrice. These are the Plumping lip liners. So one thing I love about these is the fact that they are a little bit more precise. So typically when I use a lip liner, I do like a smaller tip so I can really get a precise application, especially with a darker shade. Sometimes when it comes to like the pencil liners or these LA Girl liners, if they're not sharpened, I can't necessarily get like a super crisp line. So I do like the fact that these are a little bit smaller. Again, these are very, very creamy, but I would say they dry down a little bit better than LA Girl. I just drew this one on my hand right before I started talking about them, and now that it's had the chance to dry down, like it's really not going anywhere unless you're really pressing firmly on it. And again, they don't have that dry, matte, uncomfortable feel that some other lip liners can. They do claim that these are plumping lip liners. I don't really think they necessarily plump my lips at all, but I would say that they feel really good on the lips. They're really smoothing, and I do enjoy wearing these on their own, but also under lipstick as well. Actually, one more that I cannot find for some reason, the e.l.f. Triangle Lip Filler Lip Liners are so beautiful. They're $4. I really like the shape of those because they do have like a small triangular shape. So I feel like, again, they're perfect for really defining your lip line. Those are creamy, but again, they do dry down and they lock your lipstick in place really, really well. I would say they're probably even more matte than the Catrice ones. So if you want like a truly long-lasting lip liner, that is the formula to try. I have two face products to share with you, and then I'll move on to eyes. I have a ton of eye products. So e.l.f. just launched these Camo Color Correctors not too long ago. A lot of e.l.f.'s newest releases were a little bit more expensive, so I was kind of surprised when I saw that these were only $4. These are really nice to have in your collection, and most likely you're not going to need all 5 of them, but I'll swatch them for you so you can see what they look like. It depends on what your needs are. So they have a yellow one that's meant to brighten up the skin. They also have a peach toned one, and then also an orange one, which kind of work to fight blue or purple in the skin, especially under the eyes. There's a green one that kind of combats redness, and then a blue one which can neutralize really yellow toned foundations or concealers, or really any product. So if you are a fan of color correcting, then I definitely recommend checking these out. A lot of color correctors can be pretty expensive, and this formula is so nice to mix in with other products. It's very creamy, really lightweight, and it's not intensely full coverage by any means. I would consider it more of like a light to medium coverage product. So I don't find that it really changes the texture of a lot of my base products when I mix it in. And when I layer it directly on my skin, it does provide like a little bit of color correction without being so intense that you can see it underneath your foundation or concealer. This formula really impressed me, and I love that it is under that $5 price point. I also wanted to share a powder with you. I've talked about this on my channel for years. Like, it has to be like like 7 or 8 years at this point. This is from Essence. It's the All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. This is ideal for you if you have oily skin. If you have dry skin, you probably won't like this, but I go through one of these every single summer. This is mine left over from last summer. I haven't used it too much since the summertime because I just don't really have a big need for it once fall and winter roll around because it is a little bit cooler outside and my skin is not as oily. But this is the most mattifying face powder out there. It leaves your skin super matte all day long. It's a great touch-up powder throughout the day, and it's only a few dollars. So like I said, I usually go through one of these every single year, and I have repurchased this over and over for years at this point. And I love that the prices remained affordable. Okay, let's talk eyeshadow palettes. I love eyeshadow so much. I have a lot of different options in my collection, both drugstore and high-end, but I consistently reach for these 3 formulas a lot, and they're under $5, super affordable. I love these little palettes from Essence. These are $4. I'm wearing one on my eyes today. This one is the Nothing Compares to Nude palette. It's very light. They definitely have deeper options, more colorful options if that's what you're looking for. But for me, I do like this one just because it is a little bit softer. And I have a tendency to kind of go overboard with my eyeshadow. I'll tell myself I want to do something really simple and light and soft. And before I know it, I have like a dramatic smoky eye on. So I like this palette because it is softer and I can create something a little bit more subtle. I do have one additional shadow from e.l.f. just in the crease just to define it a little bit more. But the shimmer all over the lid is literally just this shade. It's so pretty, incredibly smooth. This one, like I said, is very soft, but if you do like something a little bit more dramatic, they have more colorful options. I love the Dancing Greens one so much. I also really like Bronzed This Way. This is a little bit of a darker neutral palette. So these are just really easy to work with. The shadows themselves are very soft, super blendable, really easy to use, and I love them. Essence does have other palettes. I'm not always sold on Essence eyeshadows. I've tried some of their other palettes in the past, but for some reason these $4 palettes seem to be better quality than a lot of the other ones I've tried. So I usually just stick with these. I think they're great. The e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow quads are so good. They're only a few dollars. I've loved these ever since they launched them, and I still reach for them all the time. Whenever I'm traveling or going out of town on vacation, I always throw these in my makeup bag. They're just quick and easy. You get 4 coordinating shadows. They perform really nicely, and they're very small and compact. They don't take up a ton of room. So I use these a lot. Like I said, I am wearing like one of the brown shadows from the Fully Matte Quad on my eyes today as well, and they just blend out super easily. They're really nice. Hard Candy has something very, very similar. These are the Moods eyeshadow quads. I just tried these last year. They're available at Walmart. They're only a few dollars, and they have some really pretty color stories. They do have some neutrals, but they also have some more vibrant, colorful options. This one is Burn. This one's probably my favorite, the one I use the most. And again, I feel like they're just perfect to throw in your bag when you're traveling, but they're also just nice if you don't want to spend a ton of money on eyeshadow. I just feel like some people aren't really into expensive eyeshadow or big palettes, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You can get a really pretty look with like a $3 or $4 quad. If you're more of like a one and done eyeshadow fan, then I have 2 cream options that I think you'll really love, both from e.l.f. These are the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Sticks. These are really nice because you can use them as shadow all over the lid, but you can also use them as eyeliner and inner corner highlight. They do have shimmer and matte versions, which I love. I think the shimmer ones are a little bit softer on the eyes, and I usually will use these on the lid or as an inner corner highlight, but the matte ones are so creamy, very intense, very bold and vibrant. So these are great as eyeliner. Sometimes I'll use them on my upper lash line, sometimes I'll use them on my waterline. The actual tip is a little bit thicker, so if I do want to create like winged liner, usually I'll just take a brush and apply this directly to the brush, and that works great too. I also really love the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Eyeshadows. These are so pretty. They're so easy to work with. They are very, very creamy, very vibrant, so a little bit goes such a long way. I typically just blend them on my eyes with my fingertip, and then I'll take a fluffier brush and kind of blend out the edges for a one and done eyeshadow look, and that's perfect. My favorite shade is this one, Sand Dune. It's kind of like the perfect everyday medium brown. These are also really nice as eyeliner too. I don't typically do my eyeliner, or I don't typically love like pot eyeliner because I feel like it takes me a little bit of extra time, and I don't always wear colorful eyeliner, but I've been getting into it more, and this is such a pretty color when you want like a soft brown liner. So I love these. Even though they're really creamy, they dry down and they do not move. So these are absolutely perfect, and again, just a few dollars. As for actual liner, I do love this Essence Waterproof Eyeliner Pen. It's been a favorite for years. It is super easy to apply. It's a felt tip liner. It stays in place extremely well. It's super dark and dramatic. I don't know that I would call it completely waterproof, which is how they do market it. I have a hard time finding like extremely waterproof liquid liners. If my eyes start to water throughout the day, I feel like most eyeliners do end up running on me a little bit, but I would say that it is like a true smudge-proof eyeliner. Like if I'm rubbing my eye, it's not going to come off. It stays in place really, really well. I did swatch it on my hand. I'm just waiting for it to completely dry before I show you. In the meantime, I wanted to share one of my favorite mascara formulas, the Essence Lash Princess Mascaras. Again, I've loved these for years. I want to say like 7 years or maybe even more at this point, and I recommend these to everyone. A lot of people in like my real life who I talk to, like friends and family or even acquaintances, will ask me like, what is your favorite affordable mascara? I feel like that's the #1 question, because even if people don't wear a lot of other mascara or a lot of other makeup, they sometimes do wear mascara. I always say the Essence Lash Princess Mascaras, and I know some people don't like the formula. They say it like flakes or smudges on them, but pretty much everyone I know, again, in like real life, loves this formula so much because it's affordable. There are different options out there, and I just don't hear a ton of negative things about it. But I feel like the people who hate this formula like really hate it. So that could be you. But again, they're $5, so they're very, very affordable. And if you love them, then it's amazing to have like such a great inexpensive option. Okay, I think this eyeliner dried down. So as you can see, like it is not going anywhere. While we are on the topic of eyeliner, there are actually 2 different pencil liner formulas I wanted to mention. So very similar to the LA Girl lip liners, I also love the LA Girl Shockwave metallic eyeliners. I do talk about these a lot on my channel, but they're so good. And again, I do not typically spend a ton of money on high-end eyeliner pencils because there are so many great affordable ones. I love this formula from LA Girl because it is so creamy, so glowy. Like it has a little bit of a metallic sheen to it. So I love it on the lower or on the waterline. Today I'm wearing one on my waterline. Where is it? I do not have it in front of me. It's in the shade Lullaby. It's like a very light, almost like white nude or like a pearl shade. And it's really, really pretty because it does add a little bit of that glow. These are also really nice on the upper lash line as well to create a wing because they're so creamy. They're not, again, completely waterproof, but I feel like they do stay in place really well on the eyes. Because they're creamy, they apply really nicely. Like there's not a lot of tugging. Let me just again, apply some on my hand and let it dry, and then we'll see. But they have really beautiful colors to choose from. These have pretty much replaced the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils for me. Urban Decay has a ton of shades. LA Girl doesn't have quite as many, but I do tend to wear a lot of the same shades. Like I have a blue, a green, that pearl shade, the gold, the copper. So I love them. I think they're perfect and they're very affordable. Okay, this has had the chance to dry down. So as you can see, like these aren't quite as, I mean, they're smudge proof for the most part, but like they're moving around a little bit. Honestly, for me, like that's good enough. I don't really expect my eyeliner to like perfectly stay in place as I'm going like this because I don't usually do that to my eye, but I've never had an issue with them coming off by the end of the day. I also love this formula from Catrice. These are the 20-hour Ultra Precision Gel Eyeliner Pencils, and they are waterproof. I actually think these are waterproof. They stay in place extremely well. They're super creamy as you apply them. Like they are not hard to apply at all. Sorry, I'm looking at the monitor, so I couldn't figure out where to swatch that, but let me let those dry down and I'll show you in just a second. So I have a brown one and then I also have a light nude. I love wearing these on my waterline when I want them to stay in place all day long. I know I talk about the Too Faced Killer Liners a lot because in my experience, those have been like the most long-lasting eyeliner pencil for the waterline. These are pretty much identical, but I feel like they're easier to apply because they are so creamy. Once they dry down though, they are not going anywhere. They are very similar to the Catrice lip liners in that they have a very small, precise tip, which I feel like is nice for the waterline, but I do feel like if you apply too much pressure, they can break kind of easily. So just keep that in mind. But these are both great options. If you want something a little creamier, go with LA Girl. If you want something a little bit longer lasting, go with Catrice. And I think it's had time to dry down, so again, I'll just smudge it and give you an idea. Like these aren't really going anywhere. They're going to fade a little bit as I'm rubbing it, but I do feel like on the waterline, they stay in place really well. Let me finish up with a few brow products. So I love this brow gel from e.l.f. It is the Wow Brow Gel. I've been using it for years and it is still such a great option. The reason why I like this one compared to other brow gels that have fibers in them is this one's a little bit softer on the brows. A lot of other options like the NYX Thick It Stick It can be very intense, and if you want something a little bit softer softer and more subtle, the e.l.f. brow gel is a great option. It doesn't necessarily lock your brows into place as intensely as some other eyebrow gels out there, but it does give them like a soft, fluffy appearance. So if you like more of a natural brow, this is a great option. I also like this one from Profusion. This is the Good Brow Day Waterproof Tinted Brow Gel. So this one, I think technically does have like a couple of fibers in it, but I wouldn't typically use this to make my brows look really thick and fluffy. I think this one is more ideal if you do want a tinted brow gel that locks your brows into place a little bit longer than the e.l.f. one. It deposits a little bit of color, so it definitely adds that tint, but I do find that this one dries down and actually keeps my brows in place, which for me isn't always like the biggest concern. I usually want them to be a little bit thicker, really fluffy and full, but I do think this one is really nice to have. Profusion also makes a really nice brow pen. This is the Good Brow Day Waterproof Brow Pen. I'm a really big fan of the NYX brow pen, also the one from Milani. Those are both like $10 or right around there. This one's under $5, and this one's a little bit more subtle. So again, if you do like more of a natural brow look, this one is perfect because you can use it to define the brows and create more of like a hair-like appearance. And I think it does end up looking more natural than NYX or Milani because it's not quite as intense. I feel like if you have a heavy hand like me, you'll probably benefit from something like this because it just creates like a very soft, feathery stroke. So I love this one a lot. And again, it does stay in place really well. The last brow product I wanted to share with you is this one from Essence. It is the Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil. If you like a very thin, precise brow pencil, this is the one to try. They don't have quite as many shades as other brands like NYX. But honestly, if you can find one that works for you, this is nice to have because if you're someone that tends to go overboard with your brows like me, then this will help you create like a very soft, natural stroke, just like the brow pen I just mentioned. Sometimes when it comes to brows, I still have trouble after all these years, and I'll try to do something like light and soft, and before I know it, my brow is super bold and intense. That's been my big issue for years. And sometimes I don't mind a bold brow, but if I'm doing like a no makeup look, or I'm truly wearing like no makeup except for my brows, because sometimes I'll do that, I don't want anything over the top. Otherwise, it just looks a little bit off. So this product is perfect because you can create like a softer brow look, and the actual pencil tip really is super small and precise. I know there are high-end brands that make pencils like this. If you can find the right shade in this one from Essence, you'll love it. It's super creamy, it applies really nicely, and stays in place well. So those are my favorite makeup products for $5 and under. I really hope today's video was helpful if you're looking for affordable makeup products that work really well. I would love to hear if you guys have any products that you love that are $5 and under, or just really affordable, great options, maybe some hidden gems that not everyone talks about. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.